Here we go. Um, so you saw me do my pre-market analysis pretty much. Looking for these smooth highs to get ran here. We don't necessarily have to. Could save that for a little bit later because we did take out the opening range high. So if we want to come back into the range and show me that, okay, we want to displace lower, then we'll save those highs to then potentially reach these lows. But we do have um, some news today at 8:30, and this is what we looking like for the day for news. That's what we looking like. 8:30, four red folder news. Who knows if I even be able to get a trade today or not? If not, that's completely fine. On a news day like this, if it's at 8:30, then some days I'll look to trade on trade in a PM session or just extend my trading time. Because if it's 8:30 news, then more than likely I don't want to be participating in anything that's gonna jeopardize my setup. So now we close there on a 15 minute. So we could be coming back inside this range to then potentially come up for these buy stops. And then I have the event horizon, which is just the high right here. Let me just get rid of this. The high here and then the high over here. So that's all I'm looking for. That high and this high is the event horizon right there. And then for these projections, I just obviously the game plan. Just put fibs on this opening range to see how far we can potentially go. Now, if I added like a 1.5, I'm sure that literally matches up with that buy stops. Okay, damn near. So if we do expand up here, then I'd like to see if we can get weak or not. And if we get weak, then I will be looking for potential um, sales to the downside. Now we did have this, like essentially this overnight run higher, so we could be using this opening range higher right now, like we just did, to then expand up. And this could just be a bullish day. News can just expand up and not even give me a setup. Now, if it comes in here though, we expand all the way in here with news. Hopefully, we don't go too crazy because it is CPI, whatever. So, um, we could get a huge expansion depending on the numbers, or we could get a huge move to the downside. And if we get a move to the downside here, taking out this liquidity with no entry, then uh, I'll be looking for a buy setup to potentially take this back up to the upside to these dailies and efficiencies if we get bullish, right? Go to the hourly chart real quick. Now we do have more buy stops up here and this one here with these relative equal highs, but I'll be focused on this for now until I see that we expand a little bit more. Then I'll pay attention to this, and then we have this minor inefficiency here. So if this buy stops don't get ran, which we do have some smooth relative equal highs in here. So if it does come in here and then avoid these highs again, then I'll definitely look for a potential sell-off. So, and I won't be looking for a huge move, just getting a piece of the pie pretty much. It is 8:02. We took out this buy stops, ran into this 0.5 area. So I'd like to get in a setup before then, or more than likely just wait for 8:30 if nothing is presenting. So that is the game plan for this morning. So give me a sec. But in order for me to look for a sell-off, I want to see how this 5 minute close. Then we got the 15 minute here that's about to close in like at 8:15. So that's my only issue, because just because a 5 minute close don't mean we can't push up higher. That's why I need to see a bit more price action after this displacement. I need to see a pullback, and then I need to see a follow through. I need to get rid of this. How do I get rid of that? Let me see. Let me move this over here and then this right here. Scale model. Always visible, always. Okay, that's not it. Wait. Hmm. I like how we selling off from here, but just hope we can get a pullback with a follow through. I'll be looking to take this. We have this small minor inefficiency, bullish inefficiency right here. 5 minute did close slightly above. Now we have a market structure shift, which is here. Now, if we do want to push lower, right? I'll do this. Is that right? Make sure. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if we want to push lower, we do have this inefficiency down here, like I was already aiming for, right? For us to then potentially go back bullish. Because if you notice, we have this huge order block. And if I go to the hourly chart, you can see it better, right? This down close, all this down movement here. Then we have this over here. But if we're just looking at it from the 15-minute perspective, right? This huge inversion fair value gap right here, right? And that was from yesterday. So we could actually use that as support by coming down a little bit inside of here, lining up with this low, and we have an order block in here. And we have a minor inefficiency if we want to come down to this negative 1.5, if we want to overextend, right? So that's kind of like the situation here so far. Let's see. It's 8:08. I might just go ahead and tape read it up until like 8:30, even if it's set up occur, because this CPI for red folder news, like I already shown, then it could become a little risky taking anything prior to CPI. Things can get choppy. You could catch a small setup, but if it doesn't move anywhere, like let's say you get in the setup and then it ranges like this for quite a bit up until 8:30, and then you don't know which direction it's gonna go in, so it could get stopped out, and it could honestly go in your favor, but that's just really a gamble trade news, or even holding through news. So that's kind of the idea right now, is to just honestly wait for that. If it was like one red folder news, I wouldn't mind, but it's four of them bitches, so Not even going. No, we do got a minor pullback right there. This is a minor pullback right here, taking out that previous candle high. Then we have this inefficiency right here, that bearish inefficiency. Price tapped into this minor one, right, while taking out the previous candle high. So if this expands again, right, now usually that will be considered a setup, but like I just said, it's 20 minutes until news. So it's like, do you really want to risk that? And getting in the setup, boom, and then just for it to more than likely consolidate or push back up. Not that that's an issue, but it's just honestly better to wait. Because the 15-minute haven't even closed yet. The 5-minute closed slightly above, which was right here on that last down close candle. If this down close candle had closed within it and did this candle here instead, now yeah, that'd have been more better. But honestly, I'd rather just wait it out and see what the news is gonna offer. No. Yeah, give me a sec. Be back. Essentially, this can be used also as a continuation model off of this point 0.5 if you were bullish, right? Which in a sense you could, especially we had an overnight continuation to the upside, even though we took out buy stops. This could be a follow through for the rest of the move all the way up here. Which in a sense, I'm not gonna take. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna wait for 8:30. 15-minute candle close, new one just open. So 15-minute did close below, which is what I want to see. That is real nice. But it's kind of unfortunate. It's like I want to look for a setup, but let's see if I can get in one, and then I might just have to exit before the news candle come out, target the low. But yeah, this right here would have been valid to take. Maybe I would have been out before the news. Who knows? Right? But just don't want to take that risk. We got 13 minutes into the news, so this can really do anything. Okay, I already tapped into this 730 first position fair value gap, and it hit equilibrium of this opening range. So I want to see how this get used for potential pullback, but I'm not really anticipating this. I kind of want to just see this start falling, sit in and look for a continuation back up. But yeah, because in all actuality, though, this is the model right here. If you're not waiting for a fair value gap, which I think there is a tiny one. Yeah, there is a tiny one, but yeah, tapped into it. Now this could start falling short from here. Let me put this south side liquidity. Yeah. So let's just see what we do right here. I mean, I like how we treated this opening range level right here. So this right here was the setup. Although, again, it's a risky time to take this because we only 10 minutes out until news. I mean, if there was no news day yet, this is definitely me. This setup. We got a volume imbalance right here. Look like we came up to the midpoint. Yeah, we just tapped the midpoint of that right there. So if you want to be conservative, I mean, like 22 handles, 23. Yeah, my stop loss would be just right there above this inefficiency, various inefficiency, if I were to take this. And then potentially look for this, get a slight 1 to 2 somewhere in here. And then we can potentially get a 1 to 3 maybe. Yeah, if we reach that negative 1.5. And then obviously we have more liquidity down below that we can target, but this is all I would need. I wouldn't really need nothing else. That's if I were to take this though, which I'm not gonna, because 10 minutes out now. We could taper it. I'm not gonna have this up. More likely though, this could be an easy stop because again, it's a risky day. But this is the model overall. We got this push down from the low right here. Then we have this pullback inside of this fair value gap, and then we have a displacement lower. And we have this bearish order block here that we currently trade inside of. But I am not in this. Oh man, oh, let's watch ES, my bad. I forgot to do ES. Let's do ES real quick. While that's loading, we're at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. open is there. But okay, let me put my 7:30 first percent. Opening 7:30 opening price. It's there. And then okay, so 7 a.m. is there. This is the high. And it's the low. Between those points. Extend this to the side. And then we don't need the midpoint. I forgot to delete yesterday's stuff. Yeah. Did. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we do have a little bit of S&Ts in here. NQ, this high was taken, but we do have some buy stops here that was taken when 7:30 opened up. So this is still in a way treated the same, right? Still treat this the same. Put the fibs out, boom, boom, and look how as soon as we took our buy stops right there, right here, 7:30 opened up. Our Judah swing reaching its 0.5 area. And then NQ already took out this high, so we have SMT here, but we both still took out buy stops. So, and then we have that sell side liquidity down here. So we got 5 minutes until the news about to drop. Yeah. Any other day, these things would be, well, I mean, ES would have been shaping up. Look how it stopped right there on that shit, man. That is perfect. And then NQ wicked it from here on a 15-minute. And look at that. This is why trading before news, especially CPI, especially when it's CPI day, definitely don't. That's why I'm not looking to trade nothing. Even if something is shaping up, it takes a lot of discipline to be like, okay, because I could have just got in and be like, let me just try to get a little scalp $100 out of this setup. But in reality, that's not how it's gonna work. Can't do it like that. Especially for me when you back test it so many times and you see CPI there and you try to trade it. Like back test it there and CPI, back test CPI and see how many setups you lose and how many you win. Kind of tell. You know you shouldn't. Not, I mean, it don't look like I would have been stopped out right there, but regardless, it's still like it's still a sticky situation, man. You can see it. I would have been in drawdown right now, while news is in 5 minutes. Now, if you had like, obviously, if you're in a live account and stuff like that, yeah, that can work. You can trade news, you can do anything you want on a live account. That's the benefit of having a live account. You ain't restricted. But regardless, if you got a live account, I still don't think it's smart to even trade news. So it don't really matter anything. I mean, you can hold through news if, like, if you got it set up prior or earlier, and like you think news is going to take you to your levels, then yeah, you can stay in it. Look like, yeah, here we go. Would have been stopped out right there if I had taken out. Um, but yeah, so really, we're just gonna wait till after news to see what happens. Do any of our situations happen, or what? You know what I mean? So we got our deviations to the upside and deviations to the downside. If we overextend, right? Then I want to see if it can, depending on how this goes, I want to see if it can reach all the way up here. But that's like, is it really gonna push like 200, 200 handles, 230 handles? I don't know. I don't know. Definitely could. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Let's see how it turns out. Oh, oh, the minute before news. Look at this. No, look at nonsense. Yeah, we might just expand all the way up there, honestly. Let's see. Go 8:30. Look at that. So you just never know. You never know what the market's gonna do. Yeah, like both of my objectives, honestly. That's crazy. Well, not really, but that is CPI. So that is very much CPI. All right, let's organize this a little better now. Know that CPI destroyed everybody and destroyed me, but let's get rid of that. I mean, right down right to this 0.5 level. Let me just get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of that. I'm going to mark this as the new low for 830. I mean, yeah, I'll get rid of 1.5. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. I'll keep those two standard deviations. Let's go to the 15-minute now. Yeah, just wait for this candle to close. Now I'm at the point I want to see. Now, for me, the draw is definitely it's lower, and then we can potentially go bullish later on, but we just kind of have to wait and see. Right, could just come down for these lows, which would be, I mean, this is the new day opening gap in here. So that could be another draw on liquidity. So let me just put that new day opening gap on real quick. Yeah, put the just make these like purple lines. I'll do that. And then midnight, let's put our midnight opening price on here, which is there. Boom, boom. Yeah, make this black and put midnight opening price. Let's see. Boom, boom. All right. So, all in all, these levels can also be a draw. And then we have the main low down here. So if we get past this, look, we don't try to bounce off of this or these areas in here, then these would be the next objective to reach. Right. Well, we don't have to go all the way down here. We could just sweep out some lows in here and then start gaining momentum back up to the upside to target this here. Or we could reach that during our 930 period and then do some manipulation to then try to aim for all this and probably more, right? Because this here is the previous day low. Okay, we took out the previous day high already. Just here. Oh, sorry. Took out these previous day high. Boom. Let me just show you on the daily so you can see. It's the previous daily candle. That high was taken. You can see that little line. And then we also have this up here. So if we want to reach this other previous day high, and then maybe avoid the low, that is another scenario that could happen. So not really too far from it, honestly. These are relative equal highs right here. Then you could put the event horizon on this one as well, but I'm not gonna do that right now unless I see that, because you can kind of see the midpoint of it. Like just look, kind of speculate in between where it's at. It'd be like right in here. So let's look at the 5 minute real quick. Wait a minute. Now this could just consolidate up until then. So I might just cancel. I might just hop off of this for now and then come back when I see some lining up, and I'm gonna give it to like. Well, actually, I can just let it play until we actually done something. Cause alright, this gonna range the entire time now. Inside of this 8:30 and wait for 9:30 to then do the manipulation to then target the 8:30 low. It is a possibility. So let's see if we can push up. Hopefully, it don't stay inside. It's 8:30. I was thinking about getting off, but it looked like it might give us something up here. I don't know if it's gonna reach these levels up here today or not, but that's what we wait to find out and see. Previous day high taken finally right there. So I'm glad this actually happened. This news, because now this can either give a continuation or reverse it. But at this point in time, I'd rather look for some type of reversal model, and we can target some levels in here or even a low. Or depending on where we get in at, we can just target the opening range. So um, yeah. Give me a sec. Alright, so we pretty much just about to chop inside of this 8:30 candle and wait for 9:30 seems to be. So what I'm gonna do is probably just, I don't know if I wanna play it all the way through or just wait. But I mean, so far we're just reacting off of this wick up in here, and then I mean, my price is just moving away. So let's see what I want to do. Let's see. I mean, even if it just comes for this high here, and then decide to start trying to move down, that's kind of ideal. After 3 minutes, maybe. Yeah. So we're in a macro, 3 minutes in. So this could easily just expand one more time, take it out this side or reaching up here, and then being able to provide it set up here to the downside. Move it to the left, like that. Yeah. Undo that, boom. Let's see. That. Right, middle, boom. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Right, it should be the same one. Okay. Right, middle. This 10. All right. And I'm gonna get rid of I'll get rid of all of this for now. Inside here. Just keep that. I'll get rid of that too. Because once we start trading in here, or if we get this buy stops up here or even up here, and we start getting movement, then more than likely I'll just target this opening range. If I'm in two contracts, I'll probably take one off there and then let the rest try to run for the low, if possible, while trailing my stop. Hmm. 9 a.m. 9:30 might obviously give that move to the upside, but that's a long wait. We've been chopping down inside. It's 8:30 for after the 8:30 news. This is why, for me, it's not high probability to take anything. 31 minutes. 31 minutes, and we pushed up 67 handles. Pretty much just been ranging inside of that for the longest. So, yeah. Shit's hilarious. All right, let's see. Shit, we can get here. That's what I'm looking for. Let me making this real. Thought we were approaching that high finally, but 9:30 is about to kick in soon, so just gonna have to wait it out and see, man. See what 9:30 do. I'm gonna still keep my opening range levels here because this is very important to me. I honestly like it more than the opening range gap for 9:30, but that's just a preference, right? can use and do whatever you want. And now it look like we approaching that high. Let's see if we can breach it. Did we breached it a little bit now? Let's see what ES did. Man, ES took out the 830 high. We took out the high again at 907. We get rid of that. That there. Let me look at the daily real quick. I mean, ES is really at all-time highs right now. NQ is struggling. So, um, but we haven't even taken out the previous day high yet, and we have relative equal highs up here. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, here. Smooth relative equal highs. So 930 might even expand up here a little bit, and then we'll see if we get some type of movement to the downside, or if we just expand all the way up. That's cool too. It'd just be no trade, right? So that's the 15-minute. Probably just, I mean, we did take out these highs over here. So boom. Yeah, created some equal highs right here off the 15-minute. And that's finally got taken out by these two candles. We have that low, 830 low. And keep watching this and seeing, okay, 830 high was finally taken. So now let's just see what we kind of provide here. But 930 is 10 minutes out, so this might just want to push up here, maybe even expand a little bit higher, and then could watch the event horizon. So if it does come up here, then we could see like in the midpoint between this candle high, or this buy stops, and then this buy stops here. Could get a rundown from the midpoint of this. But let's just see. It's taking now. 9:30 is about to open up, so just get rid of this. That day I was taking. I meant the 8:30 how I was taking. And we don't need this no more. So we're going to focus on that. We've already been live for an hour and 43 minutes. All right, I don't got much battery left, so let's look at charge. All right. 8:30 there, 9:30 might just expand up here. And then might get the sell off, which would be nice. That'd be perfect area, because that's that daily wick. Right, and then we got the buy stops just below that. So I should tell you right there. Thirty opens up. There we go. Now look like we just 9:30 open up here. 9:31 is here. So Yep. So I mean 930 first presented fair value gap is here. I'm not gonna short off that. Let's give it some time though. Give it some time to warm up real quick. Let's see the opening range gap. See what we got going on. Mm. Let me measure this out real quick. Here to here. Yeah, this lined up perfectly with the 730 first presented fair value gap. Kinda. Right here. So if we come like 50% to this level, then we could either expand a little bit higher, or we could completely fill the range and aim for these lows in here, right from the previous day. So we're gonna check that out. This can honestly just should drop down and then give us something. Which ideas, I guess it's good because the higher time frame is bullish. Let's look at ES real quick. ES is pushing down too. 930 there. 930 first presented fair value gap. But I need to get this 9 or 730 first presented fair value gap, which would be here. And we have a volume balance in there. So let's put that in too. Value gap. Get rid of that. Delete that. And wait, I think I got rid of the wrong. Yeah. So you can see this the right here lines up right inside of there, which is perfect. Perfect, perfect. But let's see. Hour 50 minutes in. Yeah, that's cool. Now we bumping into that presented for value gap. We might even come back for the highs in here or try to expand a little bit more before we try to some downplay. What? Oops. Let me put that back. There. Let's see if we I can break above here. Pass. Extensions. Cool. we are displacing away from that. Might try to come for the data low and then try to push up there, but let's see. Either there's going to be another bearish day because we don't want to reach for these buy stops once again. Because we do have major S&T with the daily chart with ES, because ES is at all-time highs still. And NQ have yet to do that. So I'll go until like 10 o'clock to see what happens, or at least we're gonna stop at like 10:15. See what we get. in a fair value gap in here, but I'm honestly just not interested right now. Not that this can't like play out to the lows or even to this area here. This data low down here might be protected. Just saying, might be protected to then try to push up into here. Macro is about to kick in here soon too. So we could also just come up here, take out this minor high, and then displace again. Maybe even get a setup to trade to this level. But I just don't like how wicky we got within these here. Like there's no real displacement like how we got here. Once we got this, we wanted to see boom boom down. Not wicking the low and then making more wicks to the upside here. And now we have a bottom wick here. So this could turn out to be Wick City heading into 10 a.m. or even range bound. So here we go. Now we're getting some movement here. Now we're getting that little movement. Close above that 930 first presented fair value gap. So this might try to run back for either this high or even run up here. Or this could just be a fluke. And let's see what the 5 minute close. Let me just wait, see how this closes real quick. Because all we did was trade down to this 830 news candle wick. And now we displacing back up. Close within that on the 5 minute. I mean, the 1 minute did close outside of it, but we watching a higher time frame as well. So Our larger 1, 2, 3 move, converting this in efficiency. See what the handle is. We're gonna be able to take this. Damn. Yeah, probably not. Probably not even gonna be able to trade this session. It's going over the amount of handles. I'm only required to trade 50 handles at least. But at least that's my game plan. Like, obviously, I can trade higher than that, but my game plan is to trade the. I could put it to this candle eye. We can take it to here in the macro. Could risk a setup there. But we do have this minor inefficiency. Let's see what the 3 minute looking like. Yeah, we got a 3 minute inefficiency too. So we got that 1 minute one here, and then a 3 minute. Really want to see if we can get a closure below that. That'd be nice. And we came into this order block there. I want to see 3 minute. I don't want it to whip this 3 minute and try to flip back up higher. Cause got that 3 minute closed. Probably just wait for another 1, 2, 3. Put a stop maybe. DXY is gonna keep going lower to lower. Yes. It's already reached the opening range low. So that could be a bit of a issue. But that's what happens when 9:30 open up. That's why I'm like looking to trade past this time all month. So I might just go ahead and wrap it up here and then take through throughout the day. And since news came, I might trade the PM session. That's like my only exception to trading outside of my morning session is if there's like CPI or like FOMC or any FOMC usually happen like later on, but you know what I mean, like all them major news that happens at 8:30. And it's not to say NQ not gonna reach that level. Cause look how we trade away from that. But technically, we have SMTs at the lows. We reached this already for ES. So, but the draw for me is still lower down at these levels, but yeah. Yeah, even if I got in there and put a stop, man, yeah, that's just way too small. So I'm not gonna do that. Uh, yeah. Just gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch that till 10 o'clock and then I'm gonna call it there. We already been live for like 2 hours. Yeah. Kind of tired of watching this now. I mean, there was nothing in the PMs or this AM session again, but obviously that's because we had 8:30 news coming up. So I mean, you could have taken like a maybe a small scout right up in here, but if I were to do that, I'd have liked to see the new 15-minute candle open up and take out the low. So once we opened up like in here, I'd rather have seen this drop down and then get back above this. And then maybe take this little scalp to these smooth relative equal highs in here. Why? Because we've already displaced lower and taken out sell side over here. So we don't necessarily need to reach for this low yet. But we didn't even get that. So 3 days in a row, no trade. That's good. We're not looking to trade every day. That's the beauty of this. This thing is displacing down now. It's catching up. So in hindsight, that would have been good, but honestly, there's a lot going on. Let's see right there. But I'm gonna just let this play. Because this can honestly just still come right back up, sweep out the low. Maybe this would have been a break even. Maybe it would have been take profit, whatever the case is. But yeah, we got 3 minutes left, so I'm gonna wrap it up at 10 a.m. See what happens. I was gonna wait to the end of the macro, but kind of tired of looking at this right now. Yeah, so imagine dealing with that. Like, got it 9:30 or yeah 9:30 opening bell. You got to deal with this. Look at this little chop. It's not really one direction. It's like, do you really want to be involved in that kind of stuff? So honestly, not. We got 1 minute left. It's still not doing nothing. I thought it was gonna try to reach for this, bounce off, and try to move up higher, but I mean, it still could. I meant to get below here and then treating this as a resistance to then look for these lows or even a midnight open or current new day opening gap. We ain't even trying to do that. Would have been dealing with some heat right now if I had waited for this minor 1, 2, 3 continuation move. But even then, this wasn't even like a nice closure. We stayed within that previous candle low right here. So we never really like closed outside of that like how we did here. If we had got this here, I mean, that would have been a little bit better. Not that I would have entered anything, but um, it would have been a little bit more enthusiastic to try to reach for this low or even the open range gap, which it can still do because we have both of these order blocks. It wanted to reach for the higher premium order block, and now we looking like we might just try to go short from here. But again, I'm not looking to take nothing, so I'm gonna call it here, man. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and see what we get.